Tonight, testing the waters.
It's a bit of a stopgap. That's why it's a pilot, to see if it works well.
The region's big money decision today to try to get ahead of a capacity crisis. Plus, the push for Ontario's auto sector.
What we do with our auto sector is something we can control.
Amid lingering questions about its future.
I think that in southwestern Ontario, electric cars are definitely not the future.
What Canada's industry minister had to say during a visit to a major player in Guelph. From Waterloo Region to Hollywood.
For a carpet walk, you wore a powder blue double-breasted suit with saddle shoes.
The suit from a stylist with local roots.
When he went to the Golden Globes, it literally went viral.
That created a Golden Globe moment.
Good evening. We begin with a multi-million-dollar decision today aiming to get ahead of Waterloo Region's water capacity crisis. Regional councils approved a pilot project involving a filtration system to try to boost capacity at a key pumping station in Mannheim, though it is not a permanent solution. CTV's Jeff Pickle has details.
An emergency regional council meeting with one purpose, approving the rental of a modular water filtration system.
It's a big ticket item, but it's a pilot program, and this will go in place at Mannheim so we can restore the capacity and fix Mannheim.
The region says it's needed as a short-term fix in the water capacity crisis as the Mannheim service area reaches its capacity limit and cannot sustain anticipated growth.
So this will bring it up to speed and allow us to do those repairs while maintaining an enhanced resiliency as well as more water to use in construction.
It's a product that's both costly and in high demand. The 4 containers costing nearly $8 million, with another $2.5 million for construction and an additional $4.5 million for electrical and engineering. With taxes included, that's over $15.1 million. The high cost and speed of the decision-making process an issue for several on council.
I think it needs to be solved, but taking $5 million out of water reserves for a short-term solution, I don't know, in the whole picture of solving this problem is the best use of public funds.
But the region says they need to act fast because the units are in demand all over the world.
But the urgency is we've already lost out on one supplier because they had no more of these mobile units. So we know that they're in demand.
Members of the development community paying close attention.
I think the speed is good, but as I indicated, it has to be lined up with the appropriate policy as well in order to enable development again.
They say this is a move in the right direction, but more is needed.
All of these are important steps, but we have to accomplish all the steps to make sure that we actually get to a place where we can develop.
The first container is expected to be ready to go by June of this year. If the region decides to go ahead with the remaining 3 containers, it will be up and running by summer of next year. Jeff Pickle, CTV News, Kitchener.
All right, time for a first check on our weekend weather. Let's head over to Ashley Bacon in the studio with all the details. There's a lot of red on the board behind you.
I like that you set it up as weekend weather to lessen the blow for the actual wintry weather there, Tony. And like you just said, there's a lot of red behind me. Lots of warnings to get to tonight. So let's get right into it. Environment Canada issuing an extreme cold warning for all of southern Ontario. We're expecting wind chill values near -30 to -35. That starts tonight into Saturday, and I would not be surprised if it extended further than Sunday morning. It is looking like it will be a rather cold night. Of course, frostbite can form when we are looking at that. I wish that was the only warning to tell you about, but we've got some more. Snow blowing warning. That is for all of this yellow and pink zone. We're looking at strong winds of 70 to 80 kilometers an hour. The pink zone in the blizzard warning, you're looking at 15 to 20 additional centimeters of snow. Now that's going to go into Saturday morning. So that obviously can cause poor driving conditions, and you want to make sure if you are headed out to check Ontario 511 just in case. But, you know, I have all things said, it's winter. It's not too bad. Right now, -4. We're pretty much at normal for this time of year in regards to temperature. A little bit windy, 37 kilometers an hour at this hour, but we are looking at wind chill values feeling a little bit closer to, like I said, that -30 mark, Tony. So it is going to be a cold night.
Sure will be. Okay, we'll get the rest of the story from you soon. Ash, thank you. Canada's industry minister was in Guelph today talking up the federal government's strategy to transform the auto sector. Melanie Joly highlighted the measures intended to make the industry less reliant on gas-powered vehicles and less reliant on the U.S. CTV's Spencer Turcotte's been following this for us today. Spencer, Joly also facing some tough questions about the government's plan.
Well, there is one question we won't have the answer to for a while, and that's whether this is all too ambitious. The feds seem to be going all in on EVs at a time when the North American market is volatile. The volatility of the North American electric vehicle market may be underscored by one major move today. Stellantis announcing it is selling its stake in a joint venture battery plant with LG in Windsor. The company expecting a $26 billion hit for pulling back from its electrification push after overestimating the demand for EVs. Federal Minister of Industry Melanie Joly downplayed the move.
I think it's really good news. I think that it's very welcome, and it shows that LG is here for a long run.
Joly visited manufacturing giant Linamar in Guelph Friday afternoon to highlight the government's strategy for transforming Canada's auto sector.
What I would like to do is to not only expand even more the business plan of Linamar. Linamar has great knowledge from around the world of the different auto trends. And so I think we can see what we can do to build much more Canadian-made cars.
The visit comes one day after Prime Minister Mark Carney revealed a multi-billion-dollar strategy to protect auto manufacturing jobs and reward companies making vehicles in Canada. It's driven by a push to minimize Canada's reliance on the U.S. and gas-powered vehicles.
We want to make sure that we build cars in Canada, build them for North America, but also for the world. And the other objective is we want to embrace progress.
Headlining the new plan is a new rebate of up to $5,000 beginning February 16th for fully electric vehicles and up to $2,500 for plug-in hybrid models. The rebate won't apply to Chinese EVs. The contentious EV sales mandate is being replaced with new emission standards for future models. But the government's effort to go all in on EVs is concerning for used car dealerships like Quality Car Sales in Kitchener.
I think that in southwestern Ontario, electric cars are definitely not the future.
Business manager Dylan Meyer says he believes hybrids are the future in this part of the province, not EVs. He does not believe we're set up for it given the extreme cold temperatures and considering we're not on a grid system that allows for charging large numbers. Not to mention EVs have a reduced range compared to gas cars.
Nobody's that interested in a used electric vehicle. All of those electric cars that get older and older become just worthless, essentially, because the range is so small you can't drive it far enough.
Meyer adds the depreciation on an electric car is higher because parts availability becomes a problem. He says manufacturers don't want to make batteries for older cars, so the resale value plummets, leaving used car dealerships in limbo when it comes to how they fit into the long-term plan of this electric vehicle push. And Carney's government has noted the lack of availability of roadside charging stations for EVs, so they have promised $1.5 billion to improve the country's charging network. Tony.
Okay, Spencer Turcotte with new reporting on the auto sector tonight. Spencer, thank you. And there's continuing fallout from a wide-ranging criminal probe in York Region that saw 7 active Toronto police officers arrested. One faced a bail hearing today, and we are also learning that Peel police officers may be connected to this investigation as well. CTV's John Musselman has the latest.
56-year-old Constable Tim Barnhart is one of 7 current Toronto police officers accused in a massive police corruption case. As we learned yesterday, it involves allegations including bribery, shootings, and even attempted murder. In this police video, 3 suspects were arrested after allegedly trying to kill a corrections manager outside his York Region home last June. His personal information was allegedly leaked by Barnhart to organized crime members. Toronto Police Chief Myron Demkew tells Newstalk 1010 today his emotions range from pain and disappointment to anger.
Been aware of this investigation, as you know, for quite some time, and there's been a roller coaster of emotions that you go through as a professional police officer with these types of allegations.
This criminal defense lawyer says the allegations and the range of police officers charged is significant.
You look at the ranks of those officers, the age of those officers, and their tenure of service. I mean, this scandal, these corruption allegations go all the way essentially to the the tops of the echelons here. We've got sergeants, veterans of the police force. We've got retired officers. And then we've got officers at the bottom who are in their early 20s, who likely have been officers for just a couple of years and are just low-level constables.
Chief Demkew and the Toronto Police Services Board has asked the Inspector General of Policing in Ontario to launch an independent investigation. But that decision is being questioned. The current inspector, Ryan Teschner, is the former executive director and chief of staff of the Toronto Police Services Board. The mayor and the premier were both asked about it today.
I don't get involved in police matters. I don't direct the police. I fully support Chief Demkew and Chief McSween. I'm unwavering in supporting our police officers.
The residents of Toronto deserve to know that the police officer that they deal with every day can be trusted.
In a statement released yesterday, a spokesperson for the Inspector General wrote about a potential investigation which still hasn't been confirmed yet. Quote, he recognizes the seriousness of these matters and the public trust concerns they raise. The Inspector General is actively considering this request, and once he makes his decision, he will release it publicly. We also learned today that 3 Peel officers have been suspended in connection with the ongoing investigation.
And that report from CTV's John Musselman. The Correctional Service of Canada says there's been an increase in violence involving inmates and prison guards. The service says there were nearly 3,300 incidents reported in the last fiscal year. That represents a 45% jump since 2021-2022. The Union of Canadian Correctional Officers says the drug trade within prisons has been the top factor in violence inside the facilities. While some preliminary athletic events have already been taking place, tonight marked the official kickoff of the 2026 Milano Cortina Winter Olympic Games. Opening ceremony festivities took place at several sites across northern Italy today. CTV's Scott Hurst has a roundup of the action.
More than 200 Canadian athletes are stepping onto the world stage. Led by flag bearers, Quebec's Michael Kingsbury and BC's Marielle Thompson, both athletes, previous Olympic champions, as Canada's team eyes more podium appearances. The opening ceremony is a stunning display of culture and sport, with the host nation always mixing in its own flavor, and Italy sure has a rich history to show off as Milano Cortina welcomes the world. And for the first time in Olympic history, the ceremony takes place across multiple venues in separate cities in a widespread yet unified event, with San Siro Olympic Stadium in Milan serving as the central hub.
They'll emphasize Italy, naturally. Music, dance, arts, they have a lot to work with.
Even before the pomp and ceremony to officially kick off 17 days of sport and spectacle, Canadian athletes have already begun making their mark. Quebec's Francis Jobin soaring into the Big Air final. He'll have a shot at the podium on Saturday in his Olympic debut. The husband and wife mixed doubles curling team of Jocelyn Peterman and Brett Gallant are now 3-1, winning their first 3 matches before falling to the Americans. And Canadians sit 5th after day 1 of the Olympic figure skating team event. The competition kicks into high gear tomorrow with the first medals being awarded. And after the first match was postponed on Thursday, the Canadian women's hockey team will begin its pursuit of back-to-back Olympic gold medals. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
And Scott was mentioning that the opening ceremony took place across several venues. As CTV's Heather Butts reports tonight, that same spread-out setup will also define the athletic competition at this year's Games.
Meeting this crew from the Netherlands, already a highlight for Ontario's Marga Wilson during her Olympic experience.
Bucket list, definitely. To see all the different athletes from all the different countries is so exciting.
The Olympic motto, after all, is about celebrating the unifying power of sport.
I'm hoping Canada goes gold, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, you met some Czech hockey player at the airport yesterday, so you did wish him luck, but secretly he said not too much luck.
A unique aspect of these games is how spread out the events are. Organizers wanted to use existing infrastructure as much as possible, but this means no central hub.
It's missing a little bit of snow, to be honest. Canada would be better to host them, but it's nice to be in the city. I feel like in the mountains will feel like more of the Winter Olympics.
I was kind of hoping to see a little bit more like fan zones here.
and I didn't quite see that, but maybe they're just spread out more through like Cortina and Livigno, so we'll see.
Competitions are taking place all over northern Italy, making this the most widespread Olympic sports setup in history. The games will span over 22,000 square kilometers. A trip between Milan and Cortina could take upwards of 6 hours. It means not all of Team Canada's athletes will be in the same village or region throughout the games.
You know, giving a high five to an athlete in another sport, or even the gentle smile when you're under such pressure, can make a huge difference.
Olympic champion and Canada's chef de mission Jennifer Heil admits it will be a different experience, but the team is turning to technology with video chats and highlight reels to help unite them.
I think there's a trade-off between, you know, the positive and the negative. I think for the Olympic movement, it's very positive that we're going to venues that already exist that make it more sustainable and easier to host.
The last time Italy hosted the Winter Games in Turin 2006, medal ceremonies were held in the center of the city each day, creating a buzz, adding to the Olympic spirit. Because of the distance, this year, medal ceremonies will be held at the venues following the competitions. Heather Butts, CTV News, Milan.
Start your day in the know with the CTV Kitchener newsletter. The best local content from our newsroom right to your inbox every morning. We've got a look at the day's top stories, we've got the forecast, and we've put some must-see videos on there for you as well. It's all in one place, sent to your email every morning. You can sign up at ctvnewskitchener.ca. Well, coming up, a close call on a southwestern Ontario highway that has put winter driving habits into a serious spotlight. The Huron County couple who ended up in a ditch after a wall of snow flew off a passing transport truck.
Well, we're in for another cold night tonight. Just how long will this cold snap last, and what your Super Bowl Sunday forecast looks like? Coming up with your full weather forecast a little later in the show. Stay with us.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvkitchener.ca, your home for news. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
A warning for drivers tonight from a pair in Huron County who say they recently had a near miss with a transport truck. CTV's Scott Miller has more on their experience and how they ended up in the ditch.
Look at our car's coming out. Michelle LaCharity and Jean Irvin watched helplessly, but thankfully, as the SUV they were driving in was delicately pulled from a ditch near Grand Bend last Thursday. The pair were driving to an early morning exercise class when they were passed by a transport truck on Dashwood Road.
So what he did is he swerved around us, and as he went by us, all the snow from the top of the transport truck fell on top of our car, and we basically could see nothing. It was a total whiteout.
As a result of the sudden whiteout from the transport truck's roof snow, Irvin and LaCharity ended up in the ditch, narrowly avoiding a tree. They called CAA, who sent a tow truck from Hensel to pull them out, but they were definitely rattled.
I think the transport truck, it was so big that it basically pushed us off that narrow Dashwood Road into the ditch. And so probably the force of the truck just, and all the snow on top of us just sent us down the embankment. So it was scary.
It certainly was, yeah.
With some more wicked winter weather on the way tonight and into the weekend, these kinds of stories are a reminder that you don't know if something bad's going to happen out on the roadways until it does.
If I'm ever behind anyone who's going slowly because of the weather, I just stay behind them. And I realize that it's sloppy conditions and the weather may not be great. So it's only going to be a few more minutes till I get to my destination. So that is my one thing I wish, if I want to pass anything on to not only big transport truck drivers, but any drivers. This is the time of year when we encounter this, and I think we just have to be a little more patient.
Police say they see stories like this on a daily basis during inclement weather. They say drivers have a responsibility to clean off their vehicles, no matter how big or tall they are, and only pass when it is safe to do so.
Be safe, be patient on the roadways. Please reduce your speed when the weather gets bad.
In Huron County, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Well, police say search warrants executed in both Ottawa and Gatineau are linked to a London, Ontario investigation. It involves current or former Western University students charged with weapons and explosives offenses, which police say were also found at homes in the Ottawa area. CTV's Caitlin Wilson reports.
My husband heard them on their megaphone very loudly saying that they have a search warrant and wanted in. It was just the house over there with the black truck.
When police showed up on her quiet Gatineau street last Thursday to execute a search warrant at this house, Coral Spence says she immediately locked the door.
I was afraid to go out because there were so many guns. I was afraid to go out. You didn't know if some shooting was going to happen or something.
The warrant is connected to an ongoing investigation in London, Ontario, where police say 4 current or former Western University students are now facing weapons and explosives charges. They include 27-year-old Jerry Tong from Ottawa and 26-year-old Zhe Kang Wang, 25-year-old Fei Han, and 21-year-old Fei Hongji, all from London.
At this point in the investigation, we are not, this is not a terrorism investigation. This is not a national security investigation. We don't yet know necessarily what the ultimate goal was.
Investigators say the case began nearly 2 weeks ago after a trespassing arrest on the London campus and the discovery of a loaded handgun. Police say a search of a nearby home then uncovered hazardous chemicals capable of being used to create explosives. The investigation then led police to conduct additional search warrants here in Gatineau and at a home in Orleans.
It led to the further location of firearms and explosives, or evidence of explosive manufacturing.
Moore's Lab is an engineering startup developing...
In a video posted to YouTube in October, 3 of the suspects say they were in the process of designing a military system to prevent drone attacks.
As of today, there's a multi-billion-dollar demand for counter-drone systems.
Police say they are aware of the videos, but say it's too early to confirm how they apply to the charges.
We have to track down, any assertions that are made by the people in it, and assess to what extent, if any, it relates to what we have evidence of.
All 4 remain in police custody and are scheduled to appear in court in the coming days. Caitlin Wilson, CTV News.
A live look outside now from our tower camera looking toward downtown Kitchener on this Friday night. And it has certainly turned colder out there this evening, hasn't it? And blustery as well. Was looking outside our studios here in Kitchener's Sports World area a little while ago, and that blowing snow was certainly a factor. Well, Ashley's going to be back in just a couple of moments to let us know how long this active weather will last and how cold it's going to get this weekend. Also coming up. The end of an era for the voice of the Jays, Buck Martinez, retiring. We'll hear from the man himself about this decision. But next, Canada opens up a diplomatic presence in Greenland. CTV's Abigail Beeman is there to tell us what that's all about as the Arctic island remains caught up in geopolitical crossfire. Well, Ash is here with our 7-day forecast, but we got to get through this weekend first.
Oh, we do.
And just when we thought we'd hit that point in the winter where we got some relief, we got a reprieve, well, back we go into the Arctic air again this weekend,
You've
apparently.
got it. A cold front has moved in and is going to still linger here for another few days. And we've had a nice little break over the last week, Tony. So, we're all well versed in what to do in cold weather now, but let's get into it because there's a lot to talk about tonight. Let's take a look outside down Grand River Hospital. That is looking beautiful. The flurries from this shot look like they have subsided for the moment. Now, we are expecting flurries to continue throughout the night. Not too much accumulation, only around a couple of centimeters is expected. But the real news is the cold. It is going to be another very cold weekend. Let's get right into our alerts board. Extreme cold warning from Environment Canada issued today, looking like it will last at least until Sunday morning, if not beyond. Wind chill values near -30 to -35. And of course, frostbite can occur very quickly with those type of cold conditions. Now, there are some other warnings to tell you about. First, let's start with all of this area here, both the pink and yellow zones. That is a blowing snow advisory, strong winds between 70 and 80 kilometers an hour. And of course, with those small squalls we've had throughout the day, that can cause low visibility. Now, in this pink zone, that is a blizzard warning. We're looking at 15 to 20 centimeters of additional snow and 80 kilometer an hour winds there. So if you have to be out on the roads in the next day or so, make sure you check Ontario 511 before heading out and pack your patience. It might be a little bit of a slower drive. This is the band of precipitation that is causing all of that flurry activity this hour. Now that's going to continue to circulate for most of the night, but as you can see here in Kitchener, Waterloo, we're going to start to see clearing skies around 2 a.m. That's going to continue to clear for us throughout Saturday. There will be some patches of flurry activity throughout Saturday for some regions, but for Kitchener-Waterloo, we're essentially going to have a clear Saturday into Sunday. Now, looking at temperatures across the country, starting on the west coast, very comfortable in Vancouver, sitting at a nice 13 degrees, Edmonton 3 with a mix of sun and cloud. In Saskatoon, -1, Thomas -22. So quite the temperature drop, just a province over. As we head further east towards our nation's capital, -9 with a bit of snowfall in Ottawa this hour. And in St. John's, we're looking at -4 for now. So it is pretty much on par for what most of the country should be seeing this time of year, but we are seeing that cold front move through. Right now in Kitchener-Waterloo, relatively comfortable, sitting at -4 degrees, which is right around normal for our time of year, but feeling already closer to -13 with that wind chill. Now, overnight, we're going to see that temperature drop pretty dramatically. We're expecting a low of -20, feeling closer to -33 at times with the wind chill. And as I mentioned, some flurry activity is still expected through the evening hours. That's likely going to wrap up in early morning hours. And tomorrow, we're essentially going to see most sun. We're not going to get very warm, though. -15 is only the expected high there, so it's going to continue to be chilly for a few days. Back in 2014, reaching -23.7, so not sure if we'll quite meet that record tonight, but we might break the record tomorrow. Looking at our 7-day forecast starting in Waterloo Region, let's point out to that tomorrow night, -25 is the expected overnight low Saturday into Sunday. We're going to keep an eye on that record because that record was only around -18 the last time it was set in 2014. Monday, you'll see a mix of sun and cloud and a high of -7. Similar conditions in Lambton, Kent, Essex. You're going to see a -7 for your Super Bowl Sunday, but temperatures rebounding by midweek. 5 degrees expected by Tuesday. And lastly, in southern Georgian Bay, Tony, similar conditions there. A very cold weekend ahead, but temperatures rebounding by Monday. Okay, let's get into our Weather Watcher photo for tonight. Debbie from Woodstock sent this in. She snapped this photo Wednesday morning, and it's just so beautiful. I know we're in for a cold one, so I just wanted to shine a light on some extra beautiful scenery. So thank you, Debbie, for sending that in.
Yes, thank you, Debbie, because there are days where we don't see the sun, and then when we do see it, we remember the weather can be beautiful sometimes.
It is very beautiful. You just got to dress for it. Just be prepared for it this weekend.
Especially this weekend. Yes. Okay, Ash, thank you.
Thank you.
Canada's consulate officially opened in Greenland today with a strong showing from a Canadian delegation. And although the timing was entirely coincidental, the message to Donald Trump was very clear. CTV's Abigail Beeman reports.
This Canadian consulate was promised more than a year ago, and the Foreign Affairs Minister here to open it wouldn't directly answer when I asked her if she was concerned doing so could anger the Trump administration. And with that, the Canadian consulate in Greenland's capital is officially open.
To be able to be here when the people of Greenland are concerned and anxious is wonderful.
More than 100 people here, including members of the Coast Guard and a large number of Canadian Inuit who want to show they support Greenlanders in the face of Donald Trump's threats.
It's quite emotional. It's a great feeling. It's good to be here. Unity, Inuit, together, standing united.
As Inuit, we are one people. Doesn't matter which country we're from, we're all the same.
Now, Global Affairs Canada won't let us inside to actually show you what the interior of the consulate looks like, but we know that the Government of Canada shares this building with Iceland. There are not many countries that have a consulate here in Nuuk. France is also opening one.
I say congratulations to Canada. I think it's a smart move.
Many in Greenland still feel uneasy, even though the Trump administration has backed off threats to take over. CTV News asked a retired U.S. diplomat involved in the opening of the American consulate in Nuuk during the first Trump administration whether Canada's increased presence now could anger Trump.
Well, I think it's worth it. I mean, I think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a move that should be taken as threatening by the United States, certainly in any way.
While the consulate was promised more than a year ago, there is still no permanent consul in place here. The Foreign Affairs Minister didn't have much to offer about that. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Nuuk, Greenland.
Canada's unemployment numbers are down, but what's the story behind that figure? Still ahead on CTV News, a deeper dive into the current state of the job market. Canada's unemployment rate dropped slightly in January to 6.5%, despite the loss of about 25,000 jobs across the country. It marks the first net loss of jobs nationwide since August last year. CTV's Heather Wright explains what's behind the numbers and the story they tell.
The hits keep coming from manufacturing, especially in Ontario, the province which saw the largest number of job losses last month, according to Statistics Canada. Overall, Canada's economy lost nearly 25,000 jobs in January, while the unemployment rate fell to 6.5%, a result of fewer people looking for work. And while Alberta, Saskatchewan, as well as Newfoundland and Labrador all gained jobs, Ontario was hit hard, losing a whopping 67,000 jobs last month. That includes roughly 1,200 workers at the General Motors plant in Oshawa, Ontario, where last week the company cut one of its 3 shifts.
I think we're seeing it in the sectors that we were expecting to see. For example, manufacturing is still suffering job losses, and we're starting to see public administration jobs in public administration decline. And those impacts obviously more centered in Ontario.
Economists say the report is not all bad news, as the majority of job losses were in part-time jobs, while the number of full-time positions grew.
So the split of 45,000 full-time jobs being created is very good. So that kind of offsets the headline.
Underlying this jobs report, however, is persistent uncertainty.
I think tough times are here for a while yet. We need to see some resolution here, some certainty around what will be the access to U.S. consumers, so important for Canadian manufacturing.
With CUSMA, the free trade agreement with the United States and Mexico, up for review this year, many businesses holding off on hiring and investing, waiting to see the outcome of those trade talks. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
Okay, top stories now with Leanne Evans in studio with us on this Friday, and an emergency regional council meeting today where they approved a step toward tackling this water capacity crisis.
Yeah, Tony, it's not a permanent solution, but it does involve a filtration system to boost capacity at a key pumping station in Mannheim. The region says the modular filtration system is needed as a short-term fix as the service area reaches its capacity limit and cannot sustain anticipated growth. It's a product that's both costly and in high demand. The first container is expected to be ready to go by June. If the region decides to go ahead with the remaining 3 containers, it will be up and running by the summer of next year. Canada's industry minister was in Guelph today talking up the federal government's strategy to transform the auto sector. Melanie Joly highlighted the measures intended to make the industry less reliant on gas-powered vehicles and less reliant on the U.S. Joly downplayed the move that Stellantis is selling its stake in a joint venture battery plant with LG in Windsor. The company is expecting a $26 billion hit for pulling back from its electrification push after overestimating the demand for EVs.
Okay, and Leanne, looking at what our digital team has over on the website, Super Bowl weekend. We've got another recipe you can whip up, and this was, I'm just going to note, A lot happens in this building before 4 o'clock when I get in.
Tony,
I miss out.
You know what you do, especially when there's food, because everyone likes to flock to the kitchen when the chefs come into our newsroom. And you did miss out today because Emily Richards was here this afternoon making hot dogs. And not just any old hot dog. We had ones from the West and the East Coast. They had toppings on them and they were absolutely delicious. You can find the video and the recipes on our website if you want to whip up some hot dogs yourself this weekend. Scan the QR code, download the CTV News app, ctvnewskitchener.ca. It's all right there. And a little extra special something at the end of that recipe is the dill pickle dip, and it is divine.
Ooh, I can hear Ashley Bacon salivating as we speak.
Oh yeah, we were eating it all afternoon.
I will note, too, that all of these cooking demonstrations that have happened this week, the food has vanished immediately after the demonstrations. Typically, there are leftovers for the late crew to try.
Everyone's been hungry this week.
They have been, yeah. Thanks, Leanne.
Thanks, Tony.
It's going to be a great weekend. Longtime Blue Jays announcer Buck Martinez has announced he's leaving the broadcast booth. Martinez joined the Jays as a player in 1981 and spent his final 6 seasons in the big leagues as a backup catcher for the club. He also managed the Jays in 2001 and part of the 2002 season. The 77-year-old was diagnosed with cancer in 2022 and took a leave of absence from April to July that year while he was receiving treatment. Martinez called over 4,000 games over his more than 40-year broadcasting career. He is a legend, that's for sure. Well, the Kitchener Rangers forward, Weston Cameron, is in his first full season with the club. His skill, size, and shooting ability make him an important addition to the Rangers, and he talks more about his role on this week's edition of Beyond the Bench.
Across the line, Lamb, here's Cameron, shoots, scores!
Hi, I'm Weston Cameron. I'm a forward. This is my first year with the Rangers.
Gains the Greyhound zone, cross-ice pass, there's a shot, he scores!
I started playing hockey around the age of 3. I started skating with my dad, and yeah, my dad always played hockey. He played high-level hockey growing up. Played for like the Toronto Marlboros growing up in Toronto, and then he played like my great-grandfather, Bruce Cameron, played for the Leafs. When it was just like the 6 teams, he played for the Leafs.
Fans on the shot, Anstis at the side of it, scores!
And then you just need to have a high compete level and good confidence in yourself. I mean, there's a lot of good players, and I think just to separate yourself, you have to have good compete and have good confidence.
Reed coming down from the point to throw that in front, loose, scores! More miscommunication in front. Weston Cameron is there to jump on the loose biscuit.
I just like the winning aspect and just building like a team bond and like a brotherhood with your team. And obviously, you know, when it gets to playoffs and stuff, you need a team bond and that brotherhood. So I just like winning and having that brotherhood. Playing with a power forward game, I think I can change the game in many ways of scoring, throwing a hit, fighting, kind of anything of that aspect. Just be a game changer.
Centered in front of the net, scores! Little tic-tac-toe, Weston Cameron.
As a team goal, I want to win with Kitchener. I think we have the group to do it. We want to win the OHL championship and then a MEM Cup as well.
Well, from the Golden Globes to Kimmel, a Waterloo Region stylist's work is making the rounds. Coming up, we'll find out how she's turned a local past into a real Hollywood present. A celebrity stylist born and raised right here in Waterloo Region is getting her flowers for her work on the red carpet. Lisa Marie Cameron is based in Los Angeles and has been dressing stars for 15 years. But as CTV's Alexandra Hollick shows us, it was a little suit she styled that made a big statement.
You wore a powder blue double-breasted suit with saddle shoes.
Duke McLeod may have hit a 6'7" at the Golden Globes, but his outfit was a perfect 10. Styled by none other than Kitchener's very own Lisa Marie Cameron.
And I was like, all right, this is an amazing opportunity, especially for a 6-year-old.
Cameron grew up in Kitchener's theater and dance scene, surrounded by costumes and creativity. She moved out to LA for fashion school 15 years ago and hasn't looked back.
I got my first client about 6 months after moving here.
That client was dancer and Disney Channel actor Allison Stoner. Since then, Cameron's worked with all kinds of celebrities, including stars from Hulu's The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and contestants from ABC's The Bachelor.
With the acting and entertainment industry and my position as a stylist, it's things are very unpredictable.
What Cameron couldn't predict was how her youngest client would be received on the red carpet.
It was really important for me to, hone in on the fact that he was 6, really pick options for him that were bold.
The bold pick paid off.
When he went to the Golden Globes, it literally went viral. It was kind of crazy how much attention he was getting with his outfit.
McLeod's fashionable fit catching the attention of nighttime talk show host Jimmy Kimmel.
We saw you on the red carpet at the Golden Globes, which was very exciting.
I've had clients on Kimmel before, but this was different, being a part of the reason why he was going on Kimmel.
I like the suit that you're wearing. Do you like to wear suits? You like to dress up?
Yeah.
Cameron collaborated with designer Tom Brown to make sure McLeod's next suit was tailored to perfection.
They just had such fun suits and patterns, and I was this speaks Duke.
And while Duke may speak for the suit, the designer, on the other hand...
Have you met Tom? Is Tom a real person?
I don't know.
You don't know?
As for what Cameron knows, when it comes to celebrity styling, she's fit for the job and fondly looks back on her beginnings in Waterloo Region.
Growing up in the Kitchener scene for theater and dance, helped me understand costumes, helped me understand fabrics, helped me understand a lot of what I deal with now. So I think it just helped me get to where I am.
Alexandra Hullock, CTV News, Kitchener.
Love that story. All right, time to check in with Ash now before we throw it a break to tease our weekend weather.
Well, although it's comfortable out there now, temperatures are set to take a nosedive. How cold will it be when we wake up tomorrow? Those details coming up. Stay with us. Start your night off with E-Talk at 7, followed by the Big Bang Theory, then Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, St. Dennis Medical at 8, then Stumble at 9:30, and cap your night off with Boston Blue at 10.
Tonight, we're in Quebec City for the world's largest winter festival.
To every carnival goers, every tourist here in Quebec, a happy carnival!
Why this year's celebration carries extra meaning. Later on CTV National News and watch on Crave.
Bounce 99.5 has the music you just can't quit. Home of Bounce Mornings with Angie Hill and Sarge. KW's Bounce 99.5. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app.
Okay, Leanne's back with a look at what we'll have later tonight, Leanne.
Well, Tony, it's a big night over at the Odd as the Highway 7 rivalry takes center ice. Kitchener Rangers hosting the Guelph Storm, and the Blue Shirts are coming off a big overtime win in London, placing them back in first place in the West. With Flint and Windsor bidding for the #1 seed, this game is a crucial matchup as the Rangers could see the Storm come the first round of the playoffs. Puck drop tonight is at 7 p.m. Of course, tickets online at the box office. Got to get over there soon, though, because it's happening.
Oh, yeah. It's they've got that momentum right now. It's unreal. Thank you, Leanne. Appreciate that. Have a good weekend. Okay, we noticed something interesting. It's colder here right now because we saw Abigail's report from Greenland, and we thought, well, at least it's not as cold as Greenland. It is colder here than Greenland right now.
Way colder. They're predicted for their Saturday to be around the freezing mark, Tony. So by comparison, we're expecting -15 as our daytime high tomorrow. And as we just see here on our extreme cold warning board, it is going to be cold. So just a reminder, the next 24 to 48 hours, very cold. Make sure you dress appropriately if you're headed out. But when we wake up first thing tomorrow morning, we're going to look at -20 to start our day. feeling closer to minus 33 with the wind chill, but thankfully by 8 a.m. that sun is expected to start to rise.
And I will note that, of course, typically weather moves from west to east, so maybe Greenland's in for a deep freeze in a few days, but it's always interesting to look at when things like that happen.
Absolutely.
I remember one day Will and I were sitting here, and it was warmer in Kitchener than it was in Los Angeles that day. It was just a strange phenomenon.
It feels a little out of place when it happens that way, but I mean, you know, like we've had such an extreme winter from snowfall amounts to the cold. It's just another day now.
Yep, it really is. It really is. All right, Super Bowl this weekend?
Super Bowl Sunday, it's coming up.
Is that a thing for you? Do you get into it, or?
I mean, I like sports.
Okay.
I will probably flip over my channel here and there. I'm not a diehard fan, though, so it's not like I'm cheering on a specific team.
Got it.
But I am there for, you know, the bandwagon of it all.
You can't help but get swept up in it sometimes.
No, it's fun.
And Ashley schools me in Leafs knowledge all the time.
I mean, it's pretty abysmal at the moment. So, let's go, boys.
Yes, let's not talk about the standings at the moment. All right, but let's leave you with some fun video as we wish you a good weekend from all of us here in the CTV newsroom. There's our Leanne, and this is of course the folks from Coddle's Catch. Leanne literally catching from a coddle right there.
It's so good. I mean, if that doesn't put you in the spirit of football, I don't know what will.
And I don't know who could do it better than a Maritimer, to be honest with you.
Oh, I wouldn't have been able to catch that fish.
And a good week to get out walking as well. We enjoyed some sunshine. Hopefully that lifted our spirits enough to get through this weekend.
Yeah, we just got to get through the weekend, Tony. The temperatures are looking to rebound for the work week, so
sounds good. We can do it. We've got this. Spring is only 40-something days away. We've got it. That's our time. Join us back here tonight at 11:30. We will catch you then.